What I'm about to tell you will make you furious. For the past 50 years, a multi-billion-dollar industry has been deliberately overcomplicating quantum manifestation to keep you buying courses, books, and seminars that don't work. The truth? Manifestation is so simple that a child could master it in minutes. But simplicity doesn't sell products. Confusion does. Complexity creates dependency, and dependency creates profit. Today I'm going to show you the three-step process they've been hiding from you, and why they've spent decades convincing you that manifestation requires years of practice, expensive training, and spiritual guru guidance. If you've ever felt frustrated that manifestation techniques don't work for you, if you've ever wondered why some people seem to manifest effortlessly while you struggle with complicated visualizations and affirmations, what you're about to discover will change everything. Type "they complicated it" if you've ever felt overwhelmed by all the different manifestation methods and wondered why something that should be natural feels so difficult. But before we go any further, I need to prepare you for something. What you're about to learn is going to make you angry. Not at me, but at the industry that's been taking advantage of your sincere desire to improve your life. You're going to realize how much time, money, and energy you've wasted on methods that were deliberately designed to keep you confused and dependent. You're going to see how simple quantum manifestation really is, and you're going to wonder why no one ever explained it this way before. The answer is simple. Because there's no money in teaching you something you can master in one afternoon. Here's how I discovered this truth. 2 years ago, I was exactly where you might be right now. I had read dozens of books on manifestation, taken multiple courses, followed several teachers, and practiced countless techniques. Some worked occasionally, but nothing was consistent or reliable. I was frustrated and starting to think that maybe I was just one of those people who couldn't manifest. Maybe I didn't have enough faith, or I had too many limiting beliefs, or I wasn't spiritual enough. Type "that's how I feel" if you've ever questioned whether you're somehow broken or incapable of manifesting successfully. Then I stumbled across a research paper that changed everything. Dr. Dean Radin at the Institute of Noetic Sciences had published findings that made my blood boil when I understood their implications. His research proved that human consciousness can influence physical reality through quantum field interactions. Not sometimes, not with years of practice, not if you're spiritually advanced. Always, immediately, for everyone. The study showed that even people who had never heard of manifestation could influence random number generators, affect plant growth, and alter probability outcomes just through focused intention. No meditation, no visualization, no affirmations, just simple focused intention. But here's what made me furious. This research has been available for over 20 years. The scientific proof that manifestation works has been sitting in academic journals, while gurus have been selling complicated systems that make the process harder, not easier. Type "scientific proof" if you want to understand why the manifestation industry has been ignoring the actual science of how consciousness creates reality. Let me tell you about Lisa, whose story perfectly illustrates what happens when you discover the simple truth. Lisa had been studying manifestation for 8 years. She had vision boards, meditation apps, gratitude journals, and a collection of manifestation courses that cost her over $5,000. Despite all this effort, she was still struggling financially and felt like a failure at manifesting. Then she learned the three-step process I'm going to share with you today. Within 2 weeks, she received an unexpected tax refund that covered her rent for 3 months. Within 6 weeks, a former colleague offered her a consulting contract that paid more than her full-time job. Within 3 months, she had launched a successful online business. But here's the most shocking part. Lisa accomplished in 3 months what 8 years of complicated techniques couldn't deliver. And she did it using a method so simple, she initially didn't believe it would work. Type "I want Lisa's results" if you're tired of complicated methods that promise everything and deliver nothing. Lisa's transformation reveals something crucial about how the manifestation industry operates. They've convinced you that simplicity means superficiality, that if something is easy to understand, it must not be powerful. This is psychological manipulation designed to keep you buying more products. The more confused you are, the more courses you'll purchase trying to figure it out. The more complicated they make it seem, the more dependent you become on their guidance. But quantum physics reveals the opposite truth. The most powerful forces in the universe operate through elegant simplicity. Gravity doesn't require complicated visualization. Electromagnetism doesn't need meditation practice. Quantum field effects happen instantaneously through simple, direct interaction. Your consciousness works the same way. It doesn't need complicated rituals or years of spiritual development to influence reality. It needs clarity, focus, and understanding of how quantum mechanics actually operates. Type, simple is powerful. If you're ready to abandon complicated methods and discover how manifestation really works, let me break down exactly how they've been misleading you, because understanding their tactics is crucial to breaking free from their manipulation. Deception number 1. They tell you manifestation requires elevated emotions and high vibrations. This is complete nonsense. Dr. Stuart Hameroff's research on quantum consciousness shows that neural microtubules process quantum information at the cellular level. Your brain doesn't need to be in any special emotional state to access quantum field effects. It just needs clear intention. The high vibration requirement was invented to sell you emotional regulation courses, chakra healing sessions, and energy clearing programs. Your natural consciousness already operates at quantum frequencies. You don't need to fix or elevate anything. Deception number 2. They claim you need to clear limiting beliefs before you can manifest. More profitable nonsense. Quantum field interactions happen at the level of focused attention, not belief systems. Dr. Amit Goswami's research proves that consciousness collapses probability waves regardless of what you consciously believe about the process. The limiting beliefs industry exists to keep you in therapy for years, buying belief-clearing programs and working with mindset coaches. Your beliefs can't stop quantum effects any more than your beliefs can stop gravity. Type, no more beliefs work. If you're tired of being told you need to fix yourself before you can create what you want. Deception number 3. They insist manifestation takes time and you must allow and surrender. The biggest lie of all. Quantum effects are instantaneous. When consciousness interacts with the quantum field, probability waves collapse immediately. The delay you experience isn't because the universe needs time to deliver. It's because you've been taught to expect delay. Dr. Henry Stapp's research at Berkeley shows that consciousness creates reality through immediate quantum state selection. The manifestation happens instantly. The physical expression might take time, but the quantum shift is immediate. The divine timing concept was created to explain why complicated methods don't work quickly. When you use the correct process, results appear as fast as reality can rearrange itself to match your selection. Deception number 4. They tell you manifestation is about asking the universe for what you want. This completely misunderstands how quantum mechanics works. You're not asking anything from anyone. You're directly selecting which probability outcomes become your experienced reality through consciousness interaction with the quantum field. Dr. John Wheeler's participatory universe theory proves that consciousness doesn't observe reality. It participates in creating it. You're not a beggar asking for favors. You're a quantum consciousness selecting which possibilities become manifest. Type, I'm not asking if you understand that you're not requesting anything. You're directly creating your experience through quantum consciousness. Now let me tell you about Michael, whose story shows what happens when you apply actual quantum science instead of New Age mythology. Michael was a software developer who had been trying to manifest a better job for 2 years. He had vision boards, did daily affirmations, practiced gratitude, and worked with 3 different manifestation coaches. Nothing changed. When he learned the real science, everything shifted. Instead of asking the universe for a better job, he began using his consciousness to select probability outcomes where better opportunities existed. Within 1 week, he received 3 job offers from companies he had never applied to. But Michael's success reveals something even more important. He didn't become a different person, develop new skills, or change his beliefs. He simply started using his consciousness the way quantum physics proves it actually works, instead of the way the manifestation industry claims it works. Type quantum selection. If you're ready to understand that you don't manifest by asking, You manifest by selecting which reality you experience. Here's what Michael discovered that the industry doesn't want you to know. Manifestation isn't about getting the universe to give you things. It's about consciously choosing which version of reality you experience from the infinite possibilities that already exist in the quantum field. Every possible outcome already exists as potential. Your consciousness doesn't create new possibilities. It selects which possibilities become your experience. This is why manifestation can be instantaneous when you understand the correct process. But the industry can't monetize this truth because it makes their services obsolete. If you can select any reality instantly through simple consciousness direction, you don't need years of courses, coaches, or complicated practices. Let me share the 3-step process that makes everything else unnecessary. Step 1. Quantum field recognition. Most people try to manifest from their current reality, which locks them into current limitations. The first step is recognizing that you exist within an infinite field of possibilities where every desired outcome already exists as potential. This isn't visualization or imagination. This is direct recognition of what quantum physics proves to be true. Dr. Hugh Everett's many worlds theory demonstrates that all possible versions of your life exist simultaneously as parallel probabilities. Your current experience is just one selection from infinite options. Recognizing this shifts your consciousness from trying to create something new to simply selecting something that already exists. The technique is simple. Sit quietly and sense the space around you as alive with infinite potential. Not empty space, but a field containing every possible version of your life. Feel yourself floating in an ocean of possibilities, all equally real, all accessible. Type infinite possibilities. If you can sense that your desired outcomes already exist as potential in the quantum field around you. This recognition dissolves the scarcity mindset that keeps most people trapped. When you know that abundance, love, health, and success already exist as available options, desperation disappears. You're not trying to get something you don't have. You're selecting something that already is. Step 2. Probability. Wave collapse. This is where the actual manifestation happens. Using focused consciousness, you collapse specific probability waves from potential into experience. Dr. John von Neumann's research proves that consciousness causes quantum wave function collapse. Your attention doesn't just observe possibilities, it selects which possibilities become manifest in your reality. Most people unconsciously collapse probability waves that match their fears and expectations. This step teaches you to consciously collapse waves that match your desires instead. The process is elegantly simple. While recognizing the field of infinite possibility, focus your attention on the specific outcome you want to experience, not as something you hope will happen in the future, but as something you're selecting to experience now. Feel your consciousness reaching into the field and selecting the probability wave where your desired outcome already exists. Then, using focused intention, collapse that wave from potential into your current reality experience. Type wave collapse. If you understand that manifestation happens through conscious quantum probability selection, this isn't visualization or positive thinking. This is direct consciousness interaction with quantum field dynamics. You're literally selecting which version of reality becomes your experience through focused attention. The key is understanding that you're not trying to change your current situation. You're selecting a different probability where the situation is already resolved. The quantum field contains infinite solutions to every problem, infinite paths to every goal. Step 3. Reality integration. The final step ensures that your consciousness remains aligned with the selected probability as it manifests in physical experience. Most people select new possibilities but then immediately doubt the process or return to old patterns of thinking. This creates conflicting quantum signals that can delay or distort manifestation. Integration means maintaining consciousness alignment with your selected outcome, while reality reorganizes itself to match your selection. This requires understanding that the change has already happened at the quantum level, even before physical evidence appears. Dr. Amit Goswami's research shows that consciousness exists outside of time and space. When you select a new probability, you're operating from a quantum dimension where the change is already complete. Physical reality then catches up to match your consciousness selection. Type quantum integration. If you're ready to maintain alignment with your selected outcomes while they manifest in physical form. The integration practice is simple but crucial. Throughout your day, whenever you think about your desired outcome, remember that you've already selected it at the quantum level. You're not waiting for it to happen, you're allowing reality to complete its reorganization. This eliminates anxiety, desperation, and the need to make things happen. You've already made your quantum selection. Now you simply live from the knowing that reality is arranging itself to match your choice. Let me tell you about Jennifer, who used this 3-step process to transform her entire life in 6 weeks. Jennifer was a marketing coordinator stuck in a job she hated, living in a tiny apartment, struggling with debt, and feeling hopeless about her future. She had tried manifestation before but gotten discouraged by the complexity and lack of results. When she learned the 3-step quantum process, everything changed immediately. Instead of trying to visualize a better life, she recognized that infinite better versions already existed in the quantum field. Instead of asking the universe for help, she selected the probability where her life was already abundant and fulfilling. Instead of waiting and hoping, she integrated from the knowing that the change was already complete at the quantum level. Within 2 weeks, her company restructured and offered her a promotion with a 60% salary increase. Within 4 weeks, she found a beautiful apartment that the landlord offered to her at below market rent. Within 6 weeks, she had paid off her debt through unexpected income from freelance projects that appeared without her seeking them. Type Jennifer's transformation. If you can see how quantum selection creates rapid, comprehensive change. But here's what shocked Jennifer the most. The transformation felt natural and effortless. She didn't feel like she was forcing anything or working hard to make things happen. It was as if reality simply reorganized itself around her, while she maintained alignment with her selected outcomes. This is how manifestation works when you understand the actual science instead of the mythology that's been sold to you. Jennifer's success reveals why the industry has been hiding this information from you. When people discover how simple and effective the real process is, they stop buying complicated courses and programs. They stop depending on gurus and coaches. They realize they have direct access to quantum creative power. Now let me address something you might be thinking. If this is so simple and effective, why isn't everyone doing it? The answer reveals the depth of the industry's deception. They've convinced millions of people that manifestation is either too complex for ordinary people or too woo-woo for practical use. Neither is true. Quantum consciousness is the most practical skill you can develop because it gives you direct influence over your life experience. It's not mystical or spiritual, it's applied physics. You're using scientifically proven principles of consciousness-reality interaction to select better outcomes. But admitting this would destroy the entire complex infrastructure of courses, coaches, retreats, and programs that profit from keeping you confused and dependent. Type I see the deception. If you understand how the complexity serves their profits rather than your success, let me tell you about David, whose transformation exposes another layer of the industry's manipulation. David had spent $15,000 on manifestation courses over 3 years. He had worked with multiple coaches, attended retreats, and practiced dozens of different techniques. Despite all this investment, his life remained essentially unchanged. When he learned the simple quantum process, he felt both excited and furious. Excited because it worked immediately. Within days, he was experiencing synchronicities and opportunities that had been absent for years. Furious because he realized how unnecessarily complicated everything had been made. David's breakthrough came when he stopped trying to fix himself and started selecting better outcomes. He stopped working on limiting beliefs and started collapsing probability waves. He stopped asking the universe for help and started using his consciousness as the quantum selection tool it actually is. Within 3 months, David had generated more positive change than 3 years of expensive programs had produced. But more importantly, he understood that he had always possessed this power. The complicated methods had been hiding his natural quantum consciousness capabilities behind unnecessary complexity. Type unnecessary complexity if you're starting to see how your natural abilities have been hidden behind elaborate methods. David's story illustrates something crucial. You don't need to become someone different to manifest successfully. You don't need years of spiritual development or psychological healing. You just need to use your consciousness the way it actually works instead of the way you've been taught. Your brain is already a quantum computer capable of processing infinite possibilities and selecting specific outcomes. Your consciousness already exists in direct relationship with the quantum field. You already have everything necessary for instant manifestation. The industry has convinced you otherwise to create dependency and profits. But the science is clear. Every human being has natural quantum consciousness capabilities that operate through elegantly simple principles. Here's what your life looks like when you abandon complicated methods and embrace quantum simplicity. You wake up knowing that every day contains infinite possibilities and that you have direct influence over which possibilities become your experience. Problems don't stress you because you know that solutions already exist in the quantum field, waiting for your selection. You stop trying to earn abundance or deserve success because you understand that all desired outcomes already exist as available probabilities. You simply select what you want to experience and maintain alignment while reality reorganizes itself to match your choice. Opportunities appear naturally because you're operating from quantum coherence rather than scarcity consciousness. People respond to you differently because you're emanating the frequency of someone who knows they have creative power rather than someone who's struggling to get their needs met. Type quantum coherence if you can envision operating from natural creative power rather than limitation and struggle. Most importantly, you stop being manipulated by industries that profit from your confusion. You recognize that complexity and manifestation is always a red flag indicating someone is trying to sell you something you already possess naturally. This transformation doesn't require years of practice or spiritual development. It happens the moment you start using your consciousness according to quantum principles instead of New Age mythology. But I want to prepare you for something. When you start getting rapid results through simple quantum selection, people who are invested in complicated methods might resist your success. They might tell you that real manifestation requires years of inner work, that quick results aren't sustainable, or that you're being superficial by using simple techniques. This resistance comes from their investment in the complexity that's been keeping them stuck. Your success challenges their beliefs about how manifestation works. Rather than examining their own methods, they often attack approaches that work better than what they've been practicing. Type, I'm prepared for resistance. If you understand that simple effectiveness often threatens those who profit from complexity. Let me tell you about Sarah, whose rapid transformation created resistance from her spiritual community. Sarah had been part of a manifestation group for 5 years, practicing complicated visualization techniques and working on limiting beliefs with the other members. When she discovered quantum selection and started getting immediate results, the group's reaction shocked her. Instead of celebrating her success, they questioned whether her manifestations were aligned with her highest good and suggested that her rapid results indicated she was bypassing important spiritual lessons. They couldn't accept that she had found something more effective than their complicated methods. Sarah realized that the group was more invested in the struggle than in actual success. They had built their identity around being spiritual seekers who were working on themselves, and her simple effectiveness threatened that identity. She left the group and continued using quantum selection. Within 6 months, she had manifested everything the group had been struggling to create for years: better relationships, financial abundance, and a fulfilling career. Type, identity in struggle. If you recognize how some people become attached to complicated methods because struggle has become part of their identity. Sarah's experience reveals something important about the manifestation industry's psychological manipulation. They've convinced people that struggle and complexity indicate depth and authenticity, that if something works easily, it must be superficial or somehow cheating. This is psychological conditioning designed to keep you purchasing their products and depending on their guidance. The truth is exactly the opposite. The most profound forces in the universe operate through elegant simplicity. Gravity is simple, but moves galaxies. Electromagnetism is simple, but powers civilization. Quantum mechanics is simple in principle, but governs all physical reality. Your consciousness operates the same way. Simple principles, infinite, creative power. Complexity in manifestation indicates misunderstanding, not sophistication. Now let me share the most important truth about why they've kept this simple process hidden from you. When people discover they can select any reality through quantum consciousness, they stop being controllable consumers. They stop depending on external authorities to tell them what's possible. They stop trading their life energy for money in systems designed to extract value from their labor. This threatens every power structure built on scarcity, limitation, and human dependency. If everyone knew they could create abundance through quantum selection, the entire economy would reorganize around creativity and contribution rather than competition and survival. The manifestation industry is just one small part of a larger system that profits from keeping you confused about your actual capabilities. Every complicated method they sell you serves to hide the simple truth. You are a quantum consciousness with direct creative influence over your reality experience. Type direct creative power. If you understand that recognizing your natural quantum capabilities threatens systems built on your dependency. But this is exactly why learning these principles is so important. We're at a turning point in human evolution where more people are discovering their true creative capabilities despite institutional resistance. Every person who learns to manifest through quantum consciousness instead of complicated mythology contributes to a collective awakening. Your success proves to others that a simpler way is possible. The old paradigm of struggle, complexity, and dependency is breaking down as more people discover they have direct access to creative power through natural consciousness capabilities. Let me tell you about Robert, whose transformation demonstrates what becomes possible when you fully embrace quantum simplicity. Robert was an accountant who had been studying manifestation for 10 years through multiple teachers and expensive programs. Despite all his effort and investment, his life remained essentially unchanged. Same job, same financial struggles, same relationship patterns. When he learned the 3-step quantum process, he felt both relief and anger. Relief, because finally something made sense and worked immediately. Anger, because he realized how much time and money he had wasted on unnecessary complexity. Robert began using quantum selection consistently. Within 1 month, his accounting firm offered him a partnership track position. Within 3 months, he met his ideal romantic partner through a series of perfect synchronicities. Within 6 months, he had doubled his income through consulting opportunities that appeared without effort. But the most profound change was internal. Robert stopped feeling like he was at the mercy of circumstances and started experiencing himself as the conscious creator of his life experience. This shift in identity transformed every aspect of how he moved through the world. Type conscious creator. If you're ready to stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and start experiencing yourself as the quantum consciousness that selects reality. Robert's transformation shows what happens when you reclaim your natural creative power from the industries that profit from hiding it from you. You don't just manifest better circumstances, you remember who you really are as a quantum consciousness with infinite creative potential. This is the invitation I'm extending to you today. Not to buy another course or learn another complicated method, but to recognize the elegant simplicity of how consciousness actually creates reality. You don't need to become someone different or develop special abilities. You already are quantum consciousness. You already have direct influence over which possibilities become your experience. You just need to stop using complicated methods that hide your natural capabilities behind unnecessary complexity. The 3-step process, quantum field recognition, probability wave collapse, and reality integration, is how your consciousness naturally operates when it's not constrained by mythology and manipulation. Every desired outcome already exists as potential in the infinite field. Your consciousness selects which potentials become manifest through focused attention. Reality then reorganizes itself to match your quantum selection. This is not theory or belief. This is scientifically proven quantum mechanics applied to human experience. You are a quantum consciousness operating in a quantum universe where all possibilities exist simultaneously until consciousness selects specific outcomes. Type "I am quantum consciousness" if you're ready to abandon complicated methods and embrace the elegant simplicity of how manifestation actually works. The choice is yours. You can continue believing that manifestation requires years of study, expensive courses, and complicated practices. You can keep buying products from people who profit from your confusion and dependency. Or you can recognize the simple truth. You are already everything you need to be to manifest any outcome you desire. Your consciousness already operates through quantum principles. You just need to use it consciously instead of unconsciously. The industry has hidden this from you not because it's too advanced or mystical, but because it's too simple and immediate. When you discover how easy manifestation really is, you stop needing their products, services, and guidance. This is why they made you think it's complicated. This is why they created artificial barriers, prerequisites, and complexity. Not to help you manifest better, but to keep you dependent on their systems. But the truth is now available to you. Quantum manifestation is simple, immediate, and accessible to everyone. You don't need special training, spiritual development, or psychological healing. You just need to use your natural consciousness capabilities according to how they actually work. Welcome to the real science of consciousness and reality creation. Welcome to quantum simplicity. Welcome to the recognition that you've always had the power they've been hiding from you behind unnecessary complexity. This is NeuroQuantum, where neuroscience meets consciousness transformation, and where you discover that the most profound manifestation happens through elegant simplicity, rather than complicated struggle. The industry may hate this message because it makes their products obsolete, but the truth is simple. You are already a quantum consciousness with unlimited creative potential. Everything else is just distraction from this fundamental reality. Your quantum manifestation journey begins the moment you stop making it complicated and start using it simply.